Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Ultimate Nightmares run, where we take the characters that are hardest to beat in the new Nightmare mode, as chosen by you, and try to win with them. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the Ogre, which is a character I've had a lot of people tell me they're really struggling with, and I think that fundamentally, this character is pretty misunderstood. From what I've seen, suggestions and guides and stuff online, I think that people are mostly not constructing this character correctly. And so I'm going to show you the easiest way to win with the Ogre, and hopefully you can get a win. Ogre has extra melee damage, minus attack speed, minus movement speed, but enemies explode when you hit them for huge amounts of damage. The easiest way to do that with this character is to go with spoons. Spoon is a very powerful weapon just by default. You get 15% HP scaling, so we get to just buy a bunch of health, which we want anyways. And if we get a source of burning damage, we'll get automatic critical hits, increasing its damage enormously, and triggering this Ogre explosion more easily. You can definitely go with other weapons, but this is going to be by far the easiest, I think, because this weapon is both synergistic with the character and just inherently very powerful. It's one of the best weapons for any character to have access to. So Ogre getting access to it is one of the easier ways to make sure that you can win with this otherwise somewhat difficult character. We'll just be taking max HP to scale the damage from our spoons, and then we're going to ban out these items. We want to ban level 1 items as much as we can, because we're really hoping that we can get a scared sausage to appear. So banning level 1 items will make scared sausage more likely to appear, so we can get the automatic crits from spoons. If we don't get one, not actually a big deal. This weapon is really good even without the automatic crits, but of course it makes us much more powerful if that happens. One of the major misconceptions I think that people have on Ogre is they look at this damage scaling from the negative attack speed. So basically, when you explode an enemy, the damage that is dealt when it explodes is based on your maximum health, one reason that we're going with spoons, and the inverse of your attack speed, your negative attack speed. So people want to lower their attack speed as much as possible to increase that damage. That's a mistake. Attack speed is too good in this game, and on the Ogre, you should just be buying it anyways, because it's going to increase your damage way more than marginal increases to the explosion damage. Buying max HP will still make the explosions valuable. Attack speed will help you actually trigger them. So we're going to go ahead and ban Small Fish, because it's a pretty weak item in general. Peaceful Bee, I don't mind losing a melee damage on this character, because we have half damage scaling on melee damage. So I think I will lock Peaceful Bee, and then we'll buy a spoon, and then we'll reroll, lock another spoon, and go to wave 2. We're going to need some movement speed in order to boost our character, because we start with negative move speed and we're using a blunt weapon. So we're going to have minus 20% move speed after all those penalties. And on Nightmare mode, that's going to be really hard to play, especially when we get to elites and bosses later on. Get that tree kill. Here, I'm going to just take an armor. I would take max HP over it, but we want, of course, armor and health. And we'll buy a spoon, we'll roll again, buy another one, roll again, lock another one. Killing these clams can be very slow when you have such low move speed. You can see here, if we trigger one explosion, we burst through a whole group of enemies, so we should have reasonable wave clear at this point in the run. Any chance I can get this loot alien? If it hadn't turned around there, I probably could have gotten it. Although we will want burning eventually to trigger our explosions, we're going to get that from Scared Sausage, or to trigger our crits. We're going to get that from Scared Sausage, which we'll just apply right away. So I'm still going to ban Snake out here. We just don't need to invest in that. I'm going to reroll. I'll take 8 Harvesting. Early on, that's a pretty powerful boost, and then we'll grab an armor here. We'll buy a spoon, Peaceful Bee, and Broken Mouth. Do a reroll. Okay, we did find Scared Sausage. That's obviously incredible when we're using spoons. Again, not required, but it is going to make us significantly more powerful. We'll lock the mushroom here because we're going to want regeneration. Duct tape gives armor, so normally it's an auto buy because pretty much any item that gives armor is an auto buy, but we're using a weapon that scales off of our max HP, so I'm going to ban the duct tape here and then re-roll, unlock another spoon so we can start leveling that up. Basically, I think that the general mistake that people make when playing this character is to look too hard at the on-paper stats and not think too much about how the Ogre is actually going to play in practice. And how you're going to play in practice is you are a pretty strong melee character with some severe penalties, but with extra wave clear, assuming that you can actually kill enemies. And so you need to make sure that you actually hit that point and can get those enemy kills as quickly as possible. So here, I'm just going to take 10 attack speed. Yes, it marginally lowers our explosion damage, but we're building that up from max HP. We want to get to like plus 100% attack speed or so by the end of the run. We will have to take any move speed that we can find, because minus 20 is much too low. We're going to roll here, and we'll buy a spoon. Every scared sausage that we buy is basically like buying 50% critical chance. So the way that this works is the burning gets applied before the damage tick, and so if you hit the 25% chance to set an enemy on fire, that same attack will be an automatic crit. So basically every scared sausage is 25% crit chance, so really powerful. Claw Tree, we don't really need to buy crit chance. I don't want to lose HP, so we'll just ban that. And then I'll reroll, lock a spoon. We'll take a Lost Duck as well. We're going to want a bunch of luck so that we can get consumable drops. You can see 45 damage explosions are still plenty to clear the small enemies, so increasing our attack speed has not cost us any clear speed and has made it significantly easier for us to deal with the large enemies. Get that clear. We'll kill those things, and we'll make our way into the middle here. We'll take 2 armor. That's perfect. I can build dodge. We actually have 4 dodge already. And again, we're a melee character. We're going to be up in the mix. So we're incentivized to build dodge. We're also building a lot of HP, which will multiply the value of our dodge. I'm going to buy all of these items. I'll wait to buy the compass. I'll re-roll here. I have no consumable heal right now, so I can't really afford to buy Alien Worm, even though it gives max HP. But then we'll buy Whistle and Defective Steroids. I was hoping for more spoons, but Whistle, of course, is a good economy item, and the Defective Steroids gives us both HP and melee damage, so it scales our damage output with our weapons. Now, of course, it's fairly lucky. We're definitely on the lucky side to have found multiple scared sausages this early when using spoons. As you can see, that's allowing us to get a few more explosions, mostly, because we're just overkilling enemies enough that we're getting the Ogre splatters more easily because of that, but we would still be clearing the waves just fine without them. I'll take 2 more armor here. We're just building a bunch of armor. We'll buy this entire shop. Re-roll, lock a spoon. Okay, the game has been very kind with scared sausages, I have to say. Take a corrupted shard, and then we'll re-roll. Explosion damage, of course, we'll take, because this, again, the Ogre explosions aren't that important to build around, but they are still a major advantage for the character, especially with double horde wave and everything. So we can still make use of the explosions. Explosion size we care about a little more than explosion damage, but it's not like we'll pass the dynamite on a character that's doing a lot of explosions. Even if our primary strategy is still going to be to just hit things with our weapons and kill them that way. The cursed walrus here got a lot of healing, and because my move speed was really low, that did put a lot of pressure on us at this point in the run. just because Cursed Walrus on wave 7. Still dangerous, still a great name for a band. Cursed Walrus's Wave 7 tour, you know. The t-shirt writes itself. I'll take max HP here again. I would be happy to take the attack speed, but max HP, very important to scale our weapon damage. We'll go ahead and buy a spoon. We'll buy all of these items. We'll re-roll, lock another spoon. Now, I don't have the regen to support Weird Ghost, unfortunately, at the moment, so I don't think I can buy it. If I find a regen item, I might be able to. I could lock it here, and then if we get the regeneration where I feel comfortable purchasing it, I can buy it. And if I don't, I can ban it and get a free reroll after buying the other stuff in this shop. So I think I'm going to lock it there. Basically, if I get like a 4 regen upgrade, or, you know, we find a garden or something in a box, we can buy Weird Ghost. Because max HP is so powerful on this weapon, of course we want to buy all the max HP that we can. Gonna focus on clearing out those lampreys. With dangerous enemies on this character, pull them into groups of smaller enemies so that the explosions can stack and kill everything at once. One reason I think that the Ogre is a challenge to play on Nightmares, people are used to the explosions just being much more a part of what you're doing. Because on lower difficulties, it's easier to chain them, but on high difficulties, you just don't have the damage output to chain them as effectively. We'll take 9 max HP here, and then I'll take 10 more luck. And then I didn't get any regen, so with 4 regeneration and 2 lifesteal, we have 1 consumable heal. I think I have to play this one safe, unfortunately. So I'll just ban the Weird Ghost and we'll just go to the next wave. Or next shop. Now, with the mushroom, I probably would have been able to buy Weird Ghost, so a little sad there. I'm not going to worry about the Bonk Dog. We want to scale our damage off of max HP mostly. We'll buy a bag. I now have Lemonade, so I can buy the Alien Worm and scale my maximum health, and then I'm going to do one more reroll here and go to wave 9. Also, of course, we have Scared Sausage, but we're completely uninterested in elemental damage in this run. The Scared Sausage is just for the critical hit effect on our spoons. Clearing the middle of the map again. Gonna get that flasher kill. Get this loot alien, of course, and we'll clear the center of the map. Try to pick up at least most of these materials. I need to fix my move speed still, but we're still doing well. Ice Cube is good. We are doing elemental damage, so this is just 10% extra damage basically all the time. We'll take the acid and the gentle alien, and then I am again going to keep taking attack speed. We'll buy spoon here, bag, and alien worm. Plasma sledge is kind of interesting. We have a dynamite. It does explode. It does pretty good damage, though given that most of our attacks are critical hits with the spoons, I don't think we need to add in a plasma sledge, because the amount of damage that it does is not actually better than the spoon damage. So right now it does 114 every 2 seconds. Spoon does 45 every 1 second, but this is usually going to be like 130 because of the 2.5x crit damage, which we're getting 75% of the time. So the spoon is just a better weapon than the sledge for us. We'll take a leveled up spoon, we'll buy mushroom and black belt and re-roll. I don't mind increasing my range a little bit on this short-range melee weapon. We'll lock metal, of course. This is all stats we care about a ton. And nice, another gentle alien. The more enemies we have, the more we can chain our explosions together to clear even more enemies at once. And again, I want you to pay attention to which enemies... To the explosions. You can see when I hit a small enemy, one that we can actually splatter, the explosion still chains through them. And when we hit a large enemy, we don't explode it anyways. So lowering our attack speed, or increasing our attack speed and lowering our explosion damage has cost us literally nothing, and has gained us faster attack speed, which is one of the most important stats in the game. Because our explosions are still doing exactly what they would be doing if they were doing, 6 more damage or whatever it is. I guess 7.5 more damage. Here, I will take 9 dodge. This is a good level up, and then I need to pick up some more move speed. We don't need that much move speed until we get to elites and bosses, which we aren't going to until wave 17. But for now, I think it's fine to keep building. We still need to start building move speed for when we get there. Here, we're very happy with all of these stats. So Tentacle, of course, is really good with Spoon. Not because the crit chance matters, because it doesn't. You get an automatic crit with Spoon, so you never need to buy crit chance. But just getting 20% healing on basically every enemy that we kill is going to be pretty massive. And then we'll reroll here. We'll take a dynamite. We'll take a baby gecko. This is a bad item for us with 19 harvesting, but you can't be the king of Brotato without a crown. So of course we're going to buy that. So this wave, we're again focusing on just using our spoons to get critical hits, kill enemies, clear the wave with the explosions. We'll take a broken mouth. That's excellent. I do want more regen, but I think I'm going to reroll here. I'll take dodge. I'll take attack speed. I'll take max HP. Yeah, I'll just take 9 max HP. Just keep boosting the damage of our weapons. We'll buy this full shop, and we can just afford to buy everything. Spicy sauce. We're already building explosion damage, and then of course leveling up our spoon is good. And of course even an expensive 3 max HP is 3 max health, which increases our spoon damage further. Clearing out this horde wave, making sure that we get that hatcher. I don't mind letting a couple of the slashers hatch, because when they stack up with all the horde aliens, our explosions are just going to clear them out. We don't have to actually attack them. You can see there, we got like one big explosion, just clearing the whole wave. One more big explosion, clearing the whole wave, killing all of the lampreys at once. And this is how we're going to deal with dangerous enemies, is just stacking them on top of smaller enemies and exploding everything all at once. Alongside massively damaging critical hits from our weapons. Here I'm going to reroll. Oh, wow, okay. We'll take 12 dodge, going up to 30 dodge. That's nice. And then I do want more max HP, but 9 movement speed just to get to positive move speed is important. We'll buy spicy sauce. We'll reroll. Even though it increases my max HP, Alien Baby does make it actually harder to chain explosions between enemies by increasing enemy health, so we will pass on that. I'll take more lifesteal, though. I want lifesteal and regeneration on this character, because it's very important to just make ourselves more survivable overall. Great shop. We get to level our weapons a bunch. So let's buy the level 3 and the level 1. And I'm buying the level 1 because we're more likely to see another level 1 spoon. So we want to buy that one and then make it more likely that we find more weapon copies. And then we'll take a cake here, of course, increasing our health even further. I'm looking for another good attack speed boost. We're going to hit level 20 soon, so we could take a 15 attack speed level up there, maybe, though I might need to take armor. We could find, you know, a coffee or something like that. I'll run over here and get that curse alien kill. I do need to be a little bit careful of the pufferfish. The enhanced pufferfish are very dangerous, but this is why we have a ton of health and armor, so that even if I take a hit, no big deal. You do have to be careful because the explosions will trigger the pufferfish explosion, like the full pufferfish explosion. Okay, great. We get 15 attack speed here. Our weapons are probably never going to attack faster than the ball and chain minimum, even though we're building attack speed. So I don't mind buying ball and chain. We can get them to 0.75 and that'll be fine. We'll take the lost duck here. We'll re-roll. We'll lock a spoon, lock a potato, lock a clover, and buy plant. One thing that I don't yet have is great healing, but these items will definitely help with all of our defensive stats, the potato and the clover. So this wave, I believe, is the first enemy... No, actually, we're still chaining the explosions, yeah. I was thinking that maybe the small shrimp weren't chaining explosions because we'd increased our attack speed, but they still are. So, increasing our attack speed has still cost us literally 0 clear with the Ogre explosions, and has made killing all the higher health enemies and actually getting attacks so much easier, so... Not to belabor the point too much, but I think it is important because attack speed is such a good stat. Even a character that has a marginal advantage from lowering its attack speed, you get much more advantage from increasing it. I can't afford to do this because we would go down to 1 HP. Disappointing that we don't get to take the axolotl here, but going down to 1 HP would cost us the run, unfortunately. Here, I will... buy 6 dodge, because we're going to be able to get to dodge cap pretty soon, which is very nice for sure. Buy all these items. We can keep buying more spoons. Do I want fruit basket? It does cost me regen, but I think consumable healing is still fairly important, even though we have no bonus consumable healing. We'll take poisonous tonic, and I'll reroll here and buy a spoon. Making sure to clear out these enhanced hatchers. Getting all of those enemies together, no big deal. You can see, you know, we just swing, and because we do so much damage per hit, we just get to clear out all of the lampreys at once. keep on clearing the waves here. All right, I'll take 3 armor, going up to 20 armor. We'll buy Poisonous Tonic. We're now up to 0.85 second cooldown on our level 4 spoons, so we still have a little way to go before the ball and chain. I'm going to roll here. We'll lock a spoon, and we'll lock a Lost Duck as well. One thing that's gone very well this run, too, is we've actually found really good weapon levels. We're ahead on weapon levels compared to where we would normally be. Okay, I think this wave is the first wave where our explosions aren't chaining themselves, because we're not dealing double damage with the splatter on the little enemies. But as you can see, we've just got a really good weapon, so we're just killing them anyways. The rat, I'm going to recycle. We'll take the metal here. I don't mind boosting my lifesteal a little bit, but I think we can reroll and get something better. I'll just take more max HP. Stone Skin, of course, is great. 21 health already. So we're definitely buying that, and we'll buy the little muscly dude. I think that these matter more in terms of damage than leveling up our spoon before we face the elite. I'll buy Broken Mouth, and even though it only scales at 50%, we'll still take Mastery. It's still just such an efficient item that even at half value, it's still pretty good. And then we should be able to kill the elite very quickly here, just with a bunch of critical hits. And against elites and the bosses, of course, this is where the attack speed is really important. This is normally where this character would struggle, but this was just a completely free elite kill for us because we bought a bunch of attack speed, killed it significantly faster than we would have otherwise. Walking into a lot of attacks, I need to be a little bit more careful. I'm just getting a little lazy with my movement here. Some extreme user error on my movement in this wave. Also, we do have 40 dodge and got very few dodges, but we got a couple at the end there. We'll take Medkit, and that fixes my healing completely, so that won't happen again. That obviously was just down to me walking into literally every attack in that whole wave. We'll roll here, we'll buy a mushroom, and then we'll go to wave 18. But again, with movement that bad and lower attack speed, I'd have died, because I'd have just taken a lot more hits. Making sure not to walk into every pufferfish explosion, ideally, and we'll clear that one out. I did let a mini-boss spawn, and those are dangerous to us, especially because it's cursed. We've found no consumable heal in this run, or rather, I found, I think, 1 point, and then I bought an alien worm, and consumable heal is still pretty important, so the lack of that is one of the things that's a little dangerous in this run. But very easy wave. We didn't go below half health. We'll recycle that. We don't need to buy crit chance. And then we'll buy all of this stuff. Leave the mastery. We'll buy a broken mouth. Think I'll pass on the fresh meat, and we'll just go to wave 19. Explode the groups of enemies. clear the middle of the wave here. And at this point, because we have good dodge and armor and everything, we can just run straight at the enemies and we're invincible. I guess I'll take the nail when it shows up in a box. It's a very slight increase to our damage output. And then I wanted more dodge, but I'll just take more max HP. We can kill the bosses a little faster. We'll buy this. The level 1 spoon, I don't believe will actually increase my time to kill the bosses. And then we'll go to this level 4 spoon, which will. I don't need the beanie. We have +7 move speed. And then let's go see how quickly we can kill the bosses. With 200 health and with the scared sausages giving us guaranteed crits, we should have very good damage against them. And again, you have to imagine how much slower this would be if we had not been improving our attack speed, and how much more dangerous it would be as a result. And there we go. So that's the easy way to build to beat the ogre. Use spoons. If you're really struggling, you can just restart until you find a scared sausage early. Obviously, we got lucky and found one, but it's not necessary. The damage that this weapon does is still so high, even without the critical hits, that it's pretty easy to proc the ogre explosions. And if you haven't spent money on these, you'll have spent more money on, other HP items and everything. And of course, don't neglect your attack speed. It's the most important stat in the game. I actually would have bought way more if we had access to it. We just didn't get, well, it's the second most important stat in the game after armor. But we didn't have that many options to buy extra attack speed, but we took the ones that we were given, and that made killing the elites and bosses so much easier. Let's look at our items here. We had really not much that gives value over time. We had 180 materials from bag, definitely on the low end. We didn't end up with that much luck, but our income was still good because of the double gentle alien. We had 218 healing from tentacle and 174 from cute monkey. The crown, definitely, that was part of why we had one tough wave, was I spent a bunch of money on crown, which then didn't really do anything. Coupon saved us 161. Now, the tooltip for coupon is wrong. It shows the amount you save before the inflation of the item, so you actually save more than it shows. And then here, the rest of these items were all pretty straightforward damage increases. Alright, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this run with the Ogre, and I hope that if it's one you've been struggling with, it is counterintuitive that this is the best way to play the character, but it's by far stronger than trying to reduce your attack speed, because that reduces your attack speed, and that's bad. So, hope that this works out well for you. Definitely give it a go. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.